Hey everybody, Karen from Master Spirit Guides. How you doing today? So I was actually going to record a video about Project 2025 that just answering your questions, having the lead team collective answer your questions. And there's just so much juicy stuff going on with this Epstein stuff. I thought, nope, we got to do a part 4. So, what I want to talk about today is first, I want to tell you a little bit about the astrology for today, July 18th. Okay. Now, even if you're listening to this on the 19th, this is still applicable. Okay. Then because I'm going to just kind of shoot from my hip, I am going to, because I don't really have any questions or anything planned, but I want to go over a few news articles and sort of what we're seeing. You probably have already heard about it, but I think they're worth talking about in terms of Trump and his relationship with Epstein. Okay. And kind of what they're doing now to change the narrative, try to change the narrative. And I thought we would go ahead and do a pendulum. Let's talk to the lead team collective and see what do they have to say today regarding the whole Epstein thing. Okay. I might actually ask them also for a message regarding the astrology for today. Why don't we do that? We'll do a message. Yeah, let's do that. I want to do a message for the astrology, which I'm going to read you now, and then we'll talk about the Epstein stuff and we'll get 2 messages. Okay. All right, if they'll give them to me. I haven't asked, but we'll see. Okay, so let's look at the astrology real quick. So I'm not going to read the whole thing for now. I'm going to cover more of this on Sunday. And as always, you get much more in the newsletter if you're signed up. It's a free newsletter. The QR code is right here, or the link is in the description of this video. So I sent her, Faye had given us a lot of really good information last week. That was really interesting. Okay, so Faye has given us, she's the astrologer we've hired for the channel. You can also find her in the small business directory. The link for the small business directory will be there, and I will also have it in the description below. So please support. We have actually 20 new businesses. I believe they're up, or we have a few more things we're switching around, and then we're going to have them up very soon. So please check everybody out and support the small businesses as you can. Okay. All right. And they obviously are small businesses from our community. So, okay. So on July 18th, which is today, let me see if I need to back up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just it might sound a little disjointed at first, but just hang in there with me, okay? On July 18th, all of this energy will activate as Saturn and Neptune come as close as they'll ever get to being exactly conjunct, okay? Without actually doing the deed. I like the way you write, Faye. It's pretty cute. They'll be just minutes apart that day, and that's a big deal. On February 20th, 2026, which will be fun because we can talk, again, we'll probably be reviewing this on February 20th, 2026. They will be exact by the degree and minute, and that will mark our official entrance into the energies of the new world. So this is very exciting. This is very exciting stuff. And I do think it is completely connected with what's going on with Trump right now. There is a reason why things are unfolding the way they are in the timing that it is. And can't you now see it? I think 6 months from now, we're going to go, aha, we do trust our spirit guides. Even though they kept telling us and telling us and telling us, yes, there was a reason for that. Okay. So Faye says we should all pay attention to both our personal lives and the collective on the 18th, because we're going to get a glimpse of the future and what will be manifesting. Now, she goes into a little bit about me, but also those who were born between 1968 and 1972, which might be a pretty decent size of our subscribers here. Okay. And if you're not subscribed, that would be amazing if you would do so. So Yeah, so I want to read that part because I think there might be a pretty large group of us who were born between 1968 and 1972. I was born in 1969. Okay. So she says, but for you, and then there'll be more for the collective. Okay. But for you, this will be especially powerful and personal. That's because anyone with planets or points on the world axis is a central energy player in this transformation. A central energy player in this transformation. I really have to think about that. I might have to talk to Faye about that. We're all part of it, yes. So we're all a part of this central energy transformation, but your chart has energy that directly interacts with this global shift. Okay. It's very personal for people like me. For example, many folks born from 1968 to 1972 are feeling it now. The husband of one of my closest friends was born in 1971 and his chart is all over it. Okay, so if you were born in that time period, you have probably, it sounds like, an even bigger role to play. And so you want to be really careful. All of us need to right now, especially today, on where are your thoughts right now? Are your thoughts really positive? Are you, even if you're low energy, try to keep your thoughts really positive today. Try to do some gratitude journaling today. Try to, or just, make a few minutes to do this. Take a few minutes to do this. So that, because if we are manifesting what we want the future to look like, we have to really keep our vibrations high today. And, really for the rest of this month. She did say, I think the 17th and 18th in particular, but really ongoing through this month. And those, again, born between 1968 and 72, you have a larger role to play. So really dig into that gratitude stuff, okay? Okay, you have, so she's talking, let's see. You have Juniper wisdom and Uranus big breakthroughs in Libra, and Mercury communication, the North Node the future, and Chiron the healer in Aries, all on the world axis. So that's in my birth chart, okay? This is what your soul agreed to when you were born. You were made for this moment. And she says, I know I've told you this before. That said, it doesn't necessarily mean a light will shine from heaven and angels will serenade you in the kitchen. Oh, why not? But the energies of that day, again, we're talking about today, will show you what you can look for in the future, what you could be manifesting in a world where love always wins. Okay? So we know love always wins. But wouldn't it be nice if we could just see it constantly? Oh yeah, that's love. That's love. That's love. That's love. That's love, right? And so we now have the opportunity right now, the way the planets are aligning, to really dive into this kind of energy that we want to manifest for the future, okay? So she says, just pay attention. Everything counts. This is all about birthing the new you. This is all of us now, okay? And a new sovereign and strong humanity. And because this activation is happening in my 8th house of transformation and is connecting to your 2nd house of personal values and self-worth, well, it's obvious, right? You're in the middle of your own personal transformation through death, not literal, rebirth, and resurrection. And you're guiding the SG community in that same direction. Okay, so this is for all of us, really. It's just that, Faye is too. Faye is too, by sending me this email and encouraging me to look at this and then discuss this with you. So we're all looking at a glimpse of our future today, and we get to decide what it's going to be. Okay, we get to decide what it's going to be. So whatever you can do today to just, and even if you're feeling a little tired, because I think that's part of the astrology for this month. I'm actually not, I was this week. Oh my gosh. I was like, what? Now it's hard for me to know because I've completely transformed the way I'm eating, and I've been doing a little detoxing, and today I feel great. Tomorrow we'll see, it kind of comes and goes as my body is healing. But I think we all, even if you're feeling a little tired, just take that time for yourself. Don't feel deflated if you're feeling a little tired. If you're still feeling a little annoyed with stuff that's going on, try to actually do a lot of self-care today. I think that's really the key. Is just try to do a lot of self-care today. Okay? Maybe this is a really good day to turn the news off. All right? But we are going to talk about some good news. And then we're going to see what the SGs have to say. Okay, so like I said, on Sunday, I'm going to come back and I have another email from Faye that talked about the 17th and the 18th in a little bit more depth, but it wasn't, she said we could talk about it throughout the month. So I'm going to keep, I like to do little snippets of this. It's very helpful for me anyways. Hopefully it's helpful for you. Okay, so I don't know, this just came into my awareness. As I was cleaning up the house, I had my ear pods in and I was listening to some things on YouTube. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. So you guys might have heard about this before I did. Well, first of all, Stephen Colbert, what the hell? Damn. I love Stephen. And I don't know. I think he said something the other day. Anyways, you guys watch Stephen Colbert. I just think he is so funny. I think he's so funny. And anyways, his show is going to be over in a year. I don't know. I don't know if it had anything to do with F45 or what, but okay. So apparently there's two things. So the one that has to do with Epstein is a letter was leaked to the Washington State Journal. Okay, a letter was leaked to the State Journal. And Washington State Post, was it Washington? Yeah, Washington State Journal. Yeah, WSJ. Okay. And it appears as if, now I'm taking this off of somebody who talked about this, who I really trust. He's a journalist. He is living in Washington. I think his channel, I'll link the video I watched below. Okay, promise. Sometimes I miss some and I have to go back, but I will link the video below in the description. Okay. So he basically, it appears as though the leak came from the FBI. Okay. So he's pretty certain that they're all freaking out right now because they're like, where did this leak come from? Okay. So obviously the FBI has all the tapes and the documents and all that. Okay. Of Epstein. Because this is a huge thing. This is not just about Epstein. This is about an entire trafficking ring that is going on globally. And citizens of the world are saying enough is enough. And this is part of our new future. This kind of behavior is not going to stand in the future we want to build for humanity, right? So this, it's just that the name Epstein is the umbrella of what's really going on. Okay. So, and needs to stop. I mean, it just needs to be unfolded. The truth needs to come out, basically. And it's actually quite delightful, you guys, because MAGA is going to make it come out. And here we thought they were enemies of the state. Cut, clear, cancel. You know what I mean? Like, we've just been so annoyed, but I can see now how the divine is working its magic, okay? Because MAGA, who was supporting him, is probably going to be the one to keep moving this along, so that this whole trafficking thing, and this isn't just trafficking of children, this is trafficking of anything, that's people are doing illegally. And the reason legal laws are set up is to protect human rights, animal rights, all kind of rights, environmental rights, all kind of things. So when we try to go around it, that's why people are doing stuff in secret, right? So the secrets are coming out and we're saying enough is enough, basically. We can manifest that today. We can manifest enough is enough. I'm not tolerating this anymore. I can look at this now and say, boy, that really sucks that as a human, my energy has been a part of this and I don't want to do it anymore. That's looking in the mirror. It's looking in the mirror. We are collectively all responsible for what's going on. So we have to all say enough is enough, and I am not going to tolerate this anymore. Okay, whatever role I've played, whether it be just turning a blind eye, not paying attention over the many years this has been going on, or directly involved. So anyways, I just got off on my little tangent there. Okay, so apparently there was a letter. I'm Fox News. Oh my God. I'm on Ground News, which you guys know that we use to look at, because now I'm going to go to what I really like about Ground News, as you guys know, if you've been on the channel, is that I can open up an article and then look along the bottom it says left, high factuality. So it was written, it's a left-leaning article, high factuality. So I'm going to go, there's a left, high factuality. So I'm going to go center, international, high factuality, government. There's not too many. Oh, there's a right. Okay, so right. I don't know if I should go government or let me just read this one. Okay. Wall Street Journal, Trump sent Epstein a birthday card with a drawing of a naked woman. Okay. So this was leaked by the FBI. Okay. So somebody in the FBI, all entertainment purposes only and allegedly, was leaked. Okay. And so, like I said, this person I was listening to, I think he's from the Lincoln Project. Does that make sense to you guys? Have you listened to some people from the Lincoln Project? Anyways, he's saying that I'm sure they're going nuts. And the more they crack down to try to find who leaked it, the more things that will get leaked. So this really could snowball. And I can already see the snowballing based on what this gentleman from the Lincoln Project said, because now they came out, the White House leaked some information about Trump's health. And we all know how he feels about that. He will not talk about his health. He would refuse to talk about his health, and all through his last presidency. And if they're leaking information about his health, well, that's because they're trying to put the energy on the health rather than on this story. So that's actually really good news, because that means they're freaking the shit out. So, and he should be freaking out. He should be freaking out. I do not feel bad for him. He should be freaking out. So, frankly, it would just be easier if he just came clean. Just come clean. Go live in a jail cell the rest of your life. It would be way less stressful for him. Okay, so let's see. So he basically wrote this letter to Epstein on his 50th birthday. Okay, it was a card, and they had a copy of this, okay, because Epstein kept everything, apparently, allegedly. Okay, so there was a drawing of a naked woman. Okay, all right, whatever. But it said, happy birthday, and may every day be a different, beautiful secret. May every day be a different, beautiful secret. So, for entertainment purposes only, and allegedly, to me, that sounds like a different, beautiful girl secret. So again, I'm just speculating there, but this is very damning, and of course, everybody's all over it. So, and if if you think about, like, why would he use the term secret? Like, if they were just partying, why wouldn't he say every day be a different beautiful party, or every day be, what's with the word secret, So anyways, this is not boding well for him. And then, like I said, the article, this was the second one that I thought was really interesting, was about his health. Okay. Because I thought, oh, the gentleman on the video did mention the health thing, and I thought, oh, I hadn't heard anything. But then, sure enough, on Ground News, we have a link to Ground News, you guys, if you want to get it. We have 40% off, a discount code for you if you want to get it as affiliates. So let's see what you should know about Trump's swollen ankles. This is from the left, though, high factuality. So let's find an article that's center. I do prefer to look for center. Okay, so center viewed, high factuality. Donald Trump's vein disorder, chronic something insufficiency. Okay, so this is the memo that they basically leaked. And you can just look on Ground News and they'll give you an overview of the article too. And then they'll give you a bias comparison, which I appreciate. Okay, so the summary is Trump underwent a comprehensive exam that included vascular testing, according to the White House press secretary. Huh, interesting. Again, never talks about this. Never, ever. There is no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. You know how the whole hand thing has been kind of suspect. And all test results were within normal limits. Sweet. The condition affecting Trump is benign and common for people over age 70. Okay, Levitt affirmed that the president remains in excellent health. Okay, so just the fact that they mentioned that he has this, that he had vascular testing, of course he did. But the fact that they actually talked about it is extremely unusual. So that's good news. That's really good news. Okay. Okay. So let's see what the SGs have to say about this. We'll do a little dowsing rods. And again, I'm kind of doing this off the cuff rather than a list of questions I have in front of me, but we're going to do the pendulum. Okay. And just see what they have to say, both about the energies of today and then about this Epstein situation. It's just very juicy. And it's a weird energy that I have. This is juicy in like a really good positive way. I don't know about you guys. Tell me how you're feeling energy wise, but I feel like a huge thing is lifting for the collective, not just for me. I just feel like the whole thing is lifting. Now, again, this could be my new way of eating because I think I'm clearing up some mental health, some like stuff in my brain that hasn't been helpful, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. It doesn't really matter. As long as my energy is good, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the lead team collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hey, you guys. I haven't talked to my team today, so thank you so much for all your love, kindness, and support. If you haven't thanked your team today, now would be a great time to do it. Aren't they amazing, you guys? So amazing, seriously. Okay, especially now that we know how much they're helping us and we're a team together. We're doing this stuff together to make sure love wins. We're sending out the right energy together. They're helping us heal when we ask for them to help us heal. So let's just keep the relationship going. Even if you're not sure about it yet, just keep it going, okay? We will do another 30-day challenge soon because I've been hearing that was really helpful for people. Okay, so you guys, it's so funny how my voice gets crackly lately too. I don't know why that is. Okay. Can I speak to the lead team, please? If you're new here, the lead team, LEAD, is the name that all of our spirit teams, for those who are subscribed to the channel, wink, wink, that's the name they collectively gave themselves. Okay. All right. So lead team. So this situation with the card that was supposedly leaked to the Washington State Journal. What's it called? Why do I keep forgetting? Is it Washington? Washington. My brain is obviously still not that clear. It is, right? WSG. Sorry, you guys. I just have to. Wall Street. Gosh, I knew it was driving me nuts. Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal. Okay. So was the letter that the Wall Street Journal has published, which is interesting. Guess who owns the Wall Street Journal, you guys? Yeah, Bezos. It's interesting, right? Okay. Was this letter leaked by someone in the FBI? Yes. Okay. Again, I don't need to say it, but this is all for fun. Um, okay, so it was leaked by someone in the FBI. Are there more leaks to follow? Yes. Okay. So when you guys, we did part one, two, and three already of Epstein. Really, really interesting. Okay. Just because it's like a lot of big picture stuff. But the first episode, I will post right here, part one. I'll post part one, two, and three at the end of this video to pop up. Okay. Part one, the SG said that this is the beginning of the downfall, that Epstein is what is finally going to take him down. Okay. So, and I think it's the catalyst. That's my guess. It's the catalyst. And then there's the unraveling. Then it's just boom, 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 right? So, which is what we've all been anticipating, really. Somebody like him can only go on so far, many of us have said, like, I mean, what is finally going to do it? So, okay, so there will be more leaks. Oh, what I was going to say, yeah, part one, I told you that. Okay. This is what happens when I do it off the cuff here. So, okay, so there will be more leaks regarding the Epstein information. Yes. Will it ultimately lead to the takedown of all this trafficking of young girls and boys, probably? Yes. Okay, great. Okay. Will it ultimately, are you still in the camp of saying, which you did a couple days ago, are we still in the timeline that this is the unraveling of Donald Trump? Yes. Okay. So this is the catalyst of what will eventually take him out of office? Yes. Okay. Fingers crossed. All right. And so did they talk about his health out of just generosity to the public because that's something they're supposed to do? No. Did they talk about his health to try to change the narrative regarding Epstein? Yes. Is it working? No. Well, because there's really no story. There's no story. They said he had an exam and it's fine. So there's no story, you know. If he had an exam and it wasn't fine, then there might be a story, but there's no story there. So they tried. It didn't work. So, okay, so let's see. And if you guys, as always, you can have more questions. We can do it. This is a really big deal. And again, not just because of the situation, but because I think of how this is the unraveling. So I'm going to take you down and we're going to do the pendulum and see what they have for us today regarding, okay, so you guys, let me just ask them real quick. So lead team, do you have a message for us regarding this situation regarding the Epstein health, all that kind of stuff situation with Trump? Yes. Okay. Can you also give us a message regarding the energy of July 18th and what you would like us individually and collectively to do right now today that would be helpful for humanity in the future? Okay. Yes. Okay, great. Okay. So let's get a message first regarding this Epstein situation. Okay. So what would you like to tell us? Okay, is that a T? Okay, T. Is that an R? Okay, so you can kind of, if it is an R, it could be an E. So they're saying yes to the R. Okay, are you spelling Trump? Okay. Okay, Trump. Is that a W? I mean, remember you guys, let's see, I'm looking at my book. So on the 16th, that was just 2 days ago, they said Trump is going soon to Saudi Arabia. So you can see how he might, you can see how he might try to get out of the country now if he knows this is unraveling like this. Okay. Okay, so where were we? So was that shoot. Sorry, you guys, I got distracted. Okay. I forgot what letter they were doing. Okay, was that a W? I think they were saying yes to a W. Okay, so W. I. L. Okay, they're doing a wider swing on an L, so I'm going to assume that's two L's. Okay, are you spelling will? So Trump will. Is that an L? Okay, L. E. A. Okay, so are you spelling Trump will leave? Okay, is that the end of the message? No. Okay, so Trump will leave. Okay, S. I'm going to assume that's an S. They'll correct me if I'm wrong. All right, this is exciting. So it's the same thing that I get on the 16th. So is that an O? Okay, double O and an N. Okay, so that's exactly what they said on the 16th was here. I'm actually keeping a separate journal now with all of the messages. So on the 16th, they said Trump is going soon, and I said where, and they spelled Saudi Arabia. Okay, so that's interesting. So now they're saying Trump will leave soon. Okay, so Trump will leave soon. Okay, and just remember our soon is different than their soon. Okay, it may take a little bit more. Can you guys give us something, I mean, something a little different regarding the Epstein case? Can you give us a, disclose some shit for us? Whatever's in our highest and best. But it would be kind of interesting if you would, tell us something about the Epstein case. That might be interesting for us to know. Maybe that we don't already know. Okay, is that a W? Okay, is that a J? Okay, so J. Usually when they do J, it's usually the word just, yeah. They have very simplified communication with me. So U, okay, S, okay, so just, no, they're not going to give us anything specific. Okay, that's okay. W, A. Okay, are you telling us to just wait? Okay, so you want us to get the information as it comes out to the public? Oh, darn. Okay, it's probably in our best interest. Okay, sounds good. All right, so just wait. I'm going to put regarding Epstein. They say just wait. Isn't it nice that we have something in common with MAGA now? Well, the thing that just is really unbelievable is that, well, first of all, first he said there are no files, right? Or there is no client list. But then he came out and said, which is what is always his MO, he came out and said, well, Obama and Hillary and Biden administration wrote the list. I mean, I'm like, if that's the case, apparently Obama wrote the list and he was in office and Biden was also in office, but they just decided not to disclose the list that apparently they wrote. I mean, to take Trump down, why wouldn't they do that? You know, it's just how anybody, I think what's going to happen, and actually, okay, I don't know who to credit this for, but this was such a good analogy. Okay, I paused for a minute so that I could give her credit, and I will link this video in the description below as well. But Gia Prism, have you guys ever seen her? I really like her, and I just find her really intriguing. She's a psychic, and so I think she was, you guys have heard of the 4 a.m. Club. I think she started it. I think she was like one of the few, like one of the leaders of it, I think. So anyways, she had a video about why are the Epstein files finally waking them up. And she said their shelf broke. Okay, she will explain this better than I can right now, but the analogy was really interesting. So, and she talked about this is what they'll do. I think she said she grew up in either as a Mormon or an evangelical or something out of the ordinary, I guess you could say. But she, or those who are trying to want you to adapt their way of thinking. Okay. So they use a shelf. All right. Let's just say you're on my channel right now and in this community, and some of the things we're talking about, you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, that doesn't feel right. We would ask you to put it on the shelf for now. Just put it on the shelf. Okay. Then move on and, still be a part of the community. And then, there might be other things you find. Okay. So just put it on the shelf. Let's put it on the shelf for now. And then you might, keep going. Okay. Things are good. Blah, 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 and then something else might come along and they'll say, put it on the shelf. Okay. So anything that you kind of disagree with or anything that you kind of start questioning, they're going to ask you to put it on the shelf. Well, so what's happening with MAGA, this is how she describes it. What's happening with MAGA is that they've been putting things on a shelf for a long time. They're like, yeah, that doesn't quite feel right, but I'm going to keep moving with this movement for whatever reason. I'm going to put it on a shelf, which is crazy because there's so many things that they have been putting on the shelf that the shelf eventually will break. Okay. Well, this is what might be breaking the shelf. This is where they're like, you know what? Enough is enough. This is the thing which is crazy that he would even run on this particular issue because, I mean, like as if they would never want any closure on it, especially this group of people. So anyways, yeah, so I thought that was a really good analogy about how the shelf was broken. And this may well be what has broken the shelf. So, okay, let's get our message then for the energy of today. They said they would give us a little message, a little encouragement about what they want us to be doing to, to spread love out into the world, to help humanity in moving forward into our golden future, let's say. Okay, so they're already moving. All right, is that a J? This is probably going to be a just do this message. Okay, so J, U. Okay, so are you saying just? Okay, just. Okay, is that a T? Okay, is that a G? All right, so G. I can't think of what it might be with the G. Took them a long time to find that letter. Okay, looks like an I. Okay, so I. V. I'm assuming the words of give, but okay. So E. Okay, so just give. Okay, just give. Is that a W? Okay. All right, H. Are you spelling what? Just give what? Okay, I gotta switch arms here. I never really do it with my left hand, so let's see. Just give what? It works with my left hand. I've honestly never done this with my left hand. Okay, is that a U? So just give what you? Huh, interesting. Okay. Just give what you. Huh. Are you saying just give what you can? Because they started going towards the C. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. Just give what you can. Okay. So when you guys suggest just give what you can, are you referring to cash? No. Are you referring to energy? Okay, nice. Okay, so just in terms of like keeping our vibration high today is kind of what you're suggesting in terms of just give what you can. I love it. I love that. Because even if you're here and all you can do is go here today, that's enough. And that's what they're saying. I love that. I love that so much. So if you're here and all you can give is maintaining that today, that's okay too. Maybe it's even maintaining it is the challenge, is enough, you know? So, or even if you're here and all you can do is maintain it, okay, in terms of vibration. So I love that message. Okay, so just give what you can. Love it. Okay, you guys. Well, I will see you tomorrow. We're going to be looking at Project 2025 unless something continues to go on with this story. I'm sure it will be. So I'm sure we'll be doing more next week probably. So this was just too tempting for me to keep talking about this a little bit today. All right. Have an amazing weekend and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.